Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, we are doing Christmas cards, and for this Thursday's Scrap Your Scraps, I'm going into the same pack that I worked on the last time, but I'm going to be doing a different variety of papers, and I'm going to be using, let's see, what have I got in here? A couple of different backgrounds. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to use my wood background with my green on top, and I think I want to have red in the background. So I'm looking at how these are going to, so red around the edges. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. Sorry. All right. I have some really limey green paper here. And where's my card? So I want to have lime on my card. So there's the edge of my card. And then on top of the lime, I'm going to have red dot. I'm just not sure which red dot. And then I'm going to have wood. But that to me doesn't look very exciting up there. So I think I'm going to switch that out with this. And we have that green and that wood. And then I need to have a paper in the front section. So wood is going to be see, this is where, so we're going to have that much, and then, nope, I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my mind. Okay. Going with different things altogether. So I'm thinking I like small green and then the big yellow and then the white background. And then I'm going to make trees out of this. And it's just parts of trees, but I just want to make sure that I'm going to end up liking what I see. So these are the big pieces. All right, so let's see. The center is going to be red. The bottom is going to be poinsettias. And the top is going to be holly. Now, can I live with all of that? That's a lot. Alrighty, so I think we're going to minimize, and we're going to take out the stars, and we are going to work with the wood background. And then that's going to be the tree. Yeah, the stars were just a little too much. And this green is going to be here. This green is also going to be around here. So there'll be additional bits of green there. Okay, awesome. So the first thing I want to do is cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of this. And I'm going to need my bigger cutter. This paper is kind of a medium weight. And I try to like take care of my blades, so a chopper is always easier. 4 1/4. 5 1/2. A chopper is always easier on blades than the ones that you pull up and down. And again, I don't like the pattern side, so I always use the back side. And then we had this, which is going to be 4 1/8. Now, how do I want to do that? 4 1/8. There's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. There we go. So this goes on that like that, and you have the green just around the outside edge. And then this wooden piece, I want to have an inch here. Do I want to have an inch? Let me see. So it's going to be 1/2 inch. So it's an inch less. So an inch less. Okay, so 4 1/4 then becomes 3 1/4. That will give me a 1/2 inch. Yeah, 3 1/4. I still have to double check myself every time I do this. So 5 1/2, 4 1/2. All right, and then that will rest in the center of that. Okay, now I can already see that I'm going to need to do something to this edge, so I probably will take a little bit of Distress ink and give that a bit of color because it's fading into the background. So let me do that first, and since I'm going to do that, give me a second here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of, no. Sorry, I have to use my brain, and it's hurting. Okay, we're going to go for a brownier color. So in here I have black. I don't want black. I have pumice stone. No. I think I'm going to go with the walnut. And I have this here, and I use it with my blender, but because this is such a small little job, I'm just going to use just this. And just go along the edge very lightly. I really only want to make cover up the white on the side of the paper and just give it a base. I don't want to distress it in a sense that the card is going to be a distressed card. And now you can see it stands out much better. Okay, might even do that now that I think of it for this as well. Okay, perfect. That's all I need. That can go back in there. This can go back on there, and that can all go back there. Now my fingers are a mess, so I got to make sure that I clean off my fingers, because you don't want to have that brown ink going anywhere else. Alrighty, there we go. And I do want a tiny bit of a green edge around this one. So this measures 3 1/4. So I am going to do 3 3/8 green. So 3 3/8 green. Three 3/8 green by, and this is 4 2 4 5/8. 4 5/8. 4 5/8. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. And this is going to go underneath there, and it's just going to have a very thin edge of green. Now, I'm going to be sticking all of these things down with glue, just because it's quicker. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stick them down with tape runner. Tape runner. Okay, there we go. There's no interactive part of this, so I'm not worried about the strength, whether it's going to be strong enough. I want my leaves going up. There we go. Alright, so there's one thing down. I'm going to stick these two things together, and then I'll put that whole thing on and measure, or eyeball centering it. There we go. And then this whole thing gets centered in the center of the card. Or does it? Hang on a second. Let me think about that. Yes, I'm going to center that. Okay. And let's put some of the wood down. Oh, no, I'm going to put it up there. There we go. So now I'm going to sort of center this all the way around. There we go. Okay. So now we have our base. I want to also create a strip for a sentiment, and I'm going to go back into my pre-cut things, and I'm going to do, so we have these guys in red. So I'm going to do the May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. And I'm just going to cut that right out using my scissors. Again, if the cut was a long cut, I'd use larger scissors. But this is fine for now. Oops. A little bit longer. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, and I don't think I see anything there that I want to add. So this is going to be the Christmas tree. This is going to be the sentiment. The sentiment needs to be mounted on something. So I am going to grab a little bit of white. Yeah, so that should be more than enough. And I'm going to stick this down right on the cardstock piece, giving myself, wait a minute. So I think I want to have it come down there. So I want the whole width of this, but I'm going to minimize how much of it. It's going to be 1/8 of an inch, more or less. So I'm going to cut this 1/8 of an inch bigger. There we go. That looks good. And keeping that piece as always. And this I think I'm going to pop dot, but again, I think I'm going to go around the edges with that walnut. Just a little bit. So that it kind of just blends in with what's going on. Oops. Okay, wiping off my hands again, wiping off my hands again. Okay. So I did that on the back side so that you'd only see it right along the edge. There we go. That looks good. I'm going to pop dot this. And again, I'm just going to use a little bit of this tape that I happen to have handy. Okay. And I have to make sure I kind of center it. There we go. So there's my Merry Christmas. It's a bit off. Sorry, gotta do it this way. It's a little easier because otherwise the way the lines are going in the wood kind of mess me up in terms of lining up. Okay, so now we are going to create our base, and I think I'm going to put the green at the bottom here, and the green is going to be, I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 inches, and all of these I'm going to cut, well, I'm not going to cut them all 2 inches, but I'm going to cut the bottom piece 2 inches. So 2 inches, and then the middle piece is going to be, so 2 inches, the middle piece is going to be 1.5 inches, and the top piece is going to be 1 inch. There we go. Now, I'm going to glue these together. First of all, what do I want to see on this one? All right, so I'm going to stick these together just with a piece of random tape. I happen to have washi tape here. So I'm just going to stick these pieces together. Just rip off anything that went over. There we go. That's going to get cut off anyway. And then this I want to see like that. Except I want it to be more like that, don't I? Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of that tape again. And center it and stick this down. Now this is the basis for my Christmas tree. So now I'm going to find the center point of my Christmas tree on the top. Use my black pen on the back side to give me a dot. There we go. And now I'm going to cut from the bottom corner to the top dot to make my Christmas tree. And I'm going to do the same from the bottom corner to the top dot again. There we go. These little pieces are too small for me to keep. And here's our Christmas tree that's finished. All right, now got to make sure it'll fit, and it's a little too big, which is unfortunate. Now I happen to like this part, so I'm going to carefully tear this off and tear this off. I should have measured to see how tall it was. Now this literally is more or less going to be right on the edge there, because I'm going to have a stem that I put inside. So now I'm going to manipulate this so that it goes, and then I'm going to trim again. So this is just me adjusting the size because I did not measure. And this is how you can fix it when you did not measure. So now we're just going to line up the edge of the tree with the edge of the cutter. There we go. The edge of the tree with the edge of the cutter. There we go. And now this tree is going to fit better. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here on, oh, you can't see what I'm doing, so I'll move that. Just putting adhesive here because I crossed them over, that's all. Okay, and there we go. All right, so now this is going to get pop dotted or pop taped. And I've got these little teeny tiny dots that I am actually going to cut in half. So these little teeny tiny dots, I'm going to actually cut one of them in half, because unless there is one already cut in half. Oh, there is. Look at that. There's one right there already cut in half. And that's going to go up here. It's surprising that even though it's tiny, it gives support, and that's what I want. So I'm just going to kind of center that where that is going to be. There we go. There's our Christmas tree on our card, and I'm just going to put a little stem in here, but I'm drawing it in. I'm not actually going to create it with paper. So I just need to know where my center point is. And then I just kind of add it in. And that's it. So there's our little Christmas tree card. Now you can put other things in the background. You can have, I've got all kinds of foliage and things that can go in here. I like simple, quick, and easy, but there's nothing to say that you can't have some sort of a, let's see, maybe Maybe a little one of these guys in the corner. And once you get your card made, you can decide what you want to see happen with the space. Now I am just trimming around this willy-nilly, getting as close as I can without actually cutting along the edges, because it's going on white, so I don't think it's going to be a problem in terms of, there we go. There we go. Just gives it a little bit of a finish. Oops. There we go. And then you take your glossy accents or your liquid glass or whatever, and you just pop up those little berries. And I'm going to do the dots. And I could do this with glitter as well. All right. Oops, a couple of little berries there. You might as well get them all. And there we go. Okay, now this I've done all on the card, so now I would apply it to the actual card base. And you could do that before you start putting all this stuff on. I tend, however I remember to do it is how I end up doing it. So there is our glittery glossy. You can't really see the glossiness right now because it's kind of foggy, but all of those little circly bits will be glossy. And that's it for your second Christmas card in a quick session with me. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you later.